When you have the very best of the best, folks, there's a feeling that permeates. It's a feeling that, well, they just don't come any better than Chef Joe Rigo, who has been voted the best chef so many times. He has won on the Food Network. He is a local, and we love him dearly. Chef Joe Rigo in our studio this morning, and good morning, baby.
Good morning, Phil. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me over. This is quite the honor to be here and speaking with you this morning, and I'm just so thankful for the invitation.
He has a mac and cheese t-shirt on.
Yes, I do. All about the mac and cheese.
And your buddy Jim Casey has the chef coat on.
That's right. He's my sous chef for the day.
He's your sous chef.
I'm going to put him to work.
I'm his free agent.
Great to see you.
Thank you. Great to see you.
Thank you. Tell us, what have you been doing lately?
Okay, so basically, I am the executive chef of Not Your Average Joe's in the Randolph location. The Randolph location is basically also the test kitchen, and I'm part of the research and development team. While doing that, I've been doing a lot for charity this year. Tell you some of the charities that I've raised money for. St. Anthony's Church Choir, the Noah's Foundation, what else? I mean, there's been so many.
How about the soccer?
What's that?
The soccer.
Yeah, the Boosters Club of New Bedford. I've raised, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've raised about $35,000 for different charities, and it's just so nice to be able to give back to the community, and I will continue to do that more and more as the years go through, because it just really warms my heart, and I feel that God has blessed me right back, and I'm going to continue to bless others.
You've always been that kind of person, Joe. Always.
Thank you.
I know when you won Chopped on the Food Network, they asked you, well, what are you going to do with your $10,000 prize? And you teared up and you said, I'm going to bring my little 3-year-old, the love of my life, to Portugal to meet her grandparents for the very first time.
That is correct. That is correct. I didn't get a chance to take her because she was too little at the time, but I did take her to Disney World.
Oh, there you go.
And she was ecstatic. So
one and the same, Portugal and Disney World.
So, Not Your Average Joe's, you're innovative there. We know that you're a champ on the Food Network. Bring us up to date. What is Chef Joe Rigo doing now?
Okay, so basically I went to the Food Network in 2012 for the show Chopped and won. I was in Atlanta at the time, so it was kind of a representation of Atlanta / New Bedford. This time, on January 3rd at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the Food Network, you guys will be able to see me on the crazy show, Cutthroat Kitchen, with Alton Brown as the host. It's a super crazy show. Basically, it's 4 chefs competing against each other.
Yeah.
They all get $25,000, and in between rounds, you get sabotaged. So the chefs bid against each other to hand off that sabotage to them.
Oh, gosh.
So you can, you can win $25,000. You can leave there with $1. So it was a crazy, crazy show. I can tell you that I really tried my hardest. I put my heart and soul to it. And you'll have to watch on January 3rd. But I can sure tell you that my introduction to the show was pretty funny, because when I introduced myself to the show, I didn't say, hey, my name is Chef Joe Rigo, I'm from New Bedford, Massachusetts. I said, hey, I'm Chef Joe Rigo, and I'm from New Bedford, Massachusetts. So I give that introduction of where we are from, and extremely, extremely proud to be from New Bedford. I lived here for 15 years, went up to the South for about 12 years, and now I'm back for good. And what a way to show off and put our city in the map. And I'm just so proud to be from New Bedford.
And folks, He is this wonderful. If you haven't met Chef Joe Rigo yet, you have to. But how long will the series last on Food Network?
Okay, so the Cutthroat Kitchen I was out there in Los Angeles competing for 2 days. It's only 2 days. Basically, you compete on one day, and then the next day is a set of interviews for all of the chefs. I can tell you that in late January, maybe early February, I will be going to another national televised competition that I can't say which channel or the competition, but I'm going back again. So, I just keep getting blessed and hopefully give my hardest again, and we'll see what happens.
So not only are you going to be featured on Cutthroat Kitchen, that's again January the 3rd, 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
That is correct.
And folks, if it's not too late, watch it. If it is, just tape it. All right? You can do that.
That's right.
And then watch Joe Rigo, our favorite chef. And we'll have to find out then who wins. Or how were you sabotaged?
I can't really talk about the show,
Okay.
so that's all,
All right.
under contract with the Food Network. I can't say which sabotages were given to the chefs, but I can honestly say that I had a blast doing the show, and to tell you the truth, I laughed the whole entire time. When you see me on camera, you'll see me laughing the whole entire time because it was just funny.
You know, Phil, the operative word here is what Joe said, crazy. When he was on, well, you and I watched it for the last time when we watched the show when it debuted on 212 on Chopped. Well, they love him. His antics he's one hell of a chef. He always has been, but his humor and his antics and he's a great natural when it comes. He's like you, Phil. He's good behind in front of the camera, in front of a mic or whatever it is. He's got a great face for TV.
Joe does. He has that beautiful, warm personality, and you're right, Jim. There's always the laughter and feeling of joy. And once you get those knives in your hands, you go, baby. You really.
That's right. That's right.
So if I got this straight, you go from Chopped now to a Cutthroat Kitchen, and then on to another national competition that you can't mention.
That's right.
Yet.
That's right.
That we hope that you'll mention on the show soon, as soon as you can.
Yes.
And then we have, of course, you with the innovation of the kitchens there at Not Your Average Joe's.
That is correct.
And you're working on anything else locally?
Locally, not really. I mean, I do a lot of private dinners, and I do a lot of private dinners that I do with my friend Gil Rodriguez, who's an awesome chef as well. And me and him are like two peas in a pod, and we always work together. And I have to tell you that I have a lot of fun doing that, doing private dinners. But mainly I spend my off time doing a lot for charity. That's what it's all about, giving back to the community.
I know it. Your golden heart. You are.
Thank you. You are
best,
too, Phil.
Joe.
And Jim as well.
He was telling me this morning, he was listening when he was getting ready to show up here today, and your impossible question today, what came out of the sea?
Yeah.
And what's good? I knew it right away. The reason I knew it was octopus was because last time I've had octopus was when Joe cooked that down in Tallahassee. He actually had it on the menu at his restaurant, the Front Porch, when he opened up that restaurant in Tallahassee. And he cooks. If you haven't had his octopus, I'm not an octopus lover, but I'll tell you what, this guy can take anything. You can take a shingle and make it taste good.
I'll tell you what, if a Portuguese guy can't cook octopus, then I don't know. Two things, octopus and salted codfish, bacalhau.
That's right.
Yep.
Absolutely. Two of my favorites.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We are with Chef Joe Rigo, who has been voted the favorite #1 chef. How many times now?
I wouldn't say favorite or the best.
You are.
The whole thing with me is just I'm extremely passionate to what I do. I put every bit of my heart into every plate that goes out there. And what truly makes me happy is not what I do, is seeing the people's faces and their smiles after they eat my food. And that's the most rewarding part of it.
Yeah. Phil, when he was down in Florida, I spent 4 days down there with him when he opened up in Tallahassee. And that was a brand new store. and I got the opportunity to watch him day to day, cooking, preparing, ordering, working with all his vendors, working with all his sous chefs, working with everybody in that kitchen. The man has an extremely wonderful talent. And you know, he hooked up after the last time, I don't know if you were aware of this, right after he won the Chop Championship, he hooked up and he was on with Emerald on Emerald's Florida show. And he served as a judge. You ought to tell him about that. That's great. Tell him what the competition was.
Yeah, so the competition was, I was with Emerald. Emerald is a super, super nice guy. And he invited me to do episode 1 on Emerald, Florida, which the title of the show was Emerald Tailgate Party, which was Florida State against the University of Florida tailgate party for the sororities to compete against each other for the best burger. And he invited me as a judge, and I had such a great time meeting Emerald. He's a very humble guy. Having him being Portuguese and all that, it was just such an honor and a pleasure.
After that show, I actually spoke with Emerald about it after, and he absolutely loved him, and it ended up he made such a wonderful presentation, and he made so many good friends there that all of Emerald's crew from the TV Food Network went over to his restaurant to hang out with him.
Yeah,
and they loved you.
Yeah.
Well, what is there not to love? So how do you make a good burger?
A good burger. Well, to make a good burger, I usually grind it myself, and I use a combination of chuck, short rib, and mix all of that nice fat into that. Hand pack it. I like doing my burgers on a flat top. If you want to go a little above and beyond, throw a little duck fat in there. In a nice brioche bun, and then some Boston bib leaf, some sliced tomatoes, and whatever condiment you want to put on there, and just go to town with that burger.
I am hungry already. What are we going to have for breakfast this morning?
For breakfast, we're going to have caramelized vanilla peaches stuffed French toast. We're going to do a little side of eggs Benedict with, of course, some nice lobster and a nice chive and sriracha hollandaise on top.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, I love to watch Phil, the Greek god of eggs. That's what we call him. The Greek god of eggs. He is literally actually salivating here.
Oh my gosh, this is so good, folks! If you're just tuning in, Chef Joe Rigo and Swiss chef Jim Casey.
Yeah, that's
oh
right.
My gosh. We should make him a Swiss chef.
I got a lot of holes in me, that's for sure.
Joe Rego is going to be on the Food Network. The show, Cutthroat Kitchen, January the 3rd. We'll be watching at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll see who wins in that, and how that all transpires. And then more good news coming up that we'll have to keep you posted on. Another national debut for Chef Joe Rigo, who deserves the very best because he is, ladies and gentlemen. Folks, nobody has the more beautiful heart, a more talented hand, and intelligence, and when it all comes together, it's an innovation of food that is just the very, very best. Joe Rigo, #1 chef, who is going to be on the Food Network once again on January the 3rd, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and that is Cutthroat Kitchen. You have to watch and see how Joe does in that. And finally, as I was saying before about your daughter, she never made it to Portugal with you, but she did make it to Disney.
Yep.
How old is she now?
She's 6 going on 12.
Oh.
We know the feeling.
Yeah. She loves to cook.
She does?
Yeah, she does. She lives in Ann Arbor, Michigan, with her lovely mom, Sarah Kopp, and every time I go up there, I stay with them. We all cook together, and it's just a wonderful relationship. I love my daughter unconditionally, and she knows she has 2 parents who love her unconditionally, and that's what's important. So every time I go up there, there's cooking shows going on. There's videos, me taping Bella cooking, and her mom just texted me the other day saying that she's now taking a baking class over at Whole Foods. So once a month. So
at 6.
I sure don't know if I wanted to follow the footsteps of a chef, but if that's in her heart and in her will to do it, then I'm going to be behind her 200%.
Joe, it's in her DNA.
Yeah, probably so.
One of the nicest things about all of this with the Food Network is going back just not that long ago when she was a baby. Joe was traveling. He was in Atlanta. He was here. He was there, and he was all over the place. And he was very, very upset about his relationship at that time. It bothered him a lot. And that chop thing put him in a different place where he could be. And then he decided to come back here to be. He missed his family. He just kind of went into a whole redirection and refocusing. And the best part about it is, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. He's back and forth to Detroit and everything all the time to see her. And she has just turned into one of the most precocious. She loves to come to New Bedford.
Annabella.
Yeah, she's a sweet.
And you call her Bella?
Oh yeah, Bella.
Annabella. Well, everything is always in the Lord's hands, and I know that He's very pleased. When you go to heaven, what one dish will you cook for the Lord that you think He will love?
Probably.
What a great question.
That is a great question. You're putting me on the spot now. I mean, this is like probably one of the most important meals of my life. It's either you're going to go to one side or the other.
Talk about a guest
Or else.
I hope it's not a fish sandwich. I just hope it's not a fish sandwich.
No, it's not. I would probably do my very famous 5-spice braised Chianti oxtail. With fresh pappardelle pasta and shaved Parmesan Reggiano.
Holy mackerel!
I think you would like that.
Heavenly.
No pun intended. Holy mackerel. Joe, we love you so much. You have all
Thank
of
you,
our
Phil. Thanks for having me.
prayers, our best wishes, that they surround you always. And I mean this. We have you in our heart and in our prayers. You are destined
Thank
for
you, Phil.
so many wonderful things.
Thank you.
Chef Joe Rigo
Yep.
and sous chef Jim Casey.
That's right.
Merry Christmas to all you guys.
Yeah, Merry
And,
Christmas.
Hang in there. Make sure you watch Joe and be rooting for him because if he wins, I get a commission.
Great to have you,
Thank
Joe.
you. Thank you, Phil.
God bless.
Have a great day.
Okay, you too.